Hi lads and lasses, Morten Aastad here with another video, and today is, well, my Paul McCartney day. One day later than everyone else, I'm pretty sure. A lifelong Paul McCartney fan, more or less. Earliest band that I remember being a big fan of, and I still am, is the Rolling Stones. And we're talking back when I was 6 years old, so around 1977, and pestering my older siblings for borrowing their records and so on, and I finally got my first Rolling Stones records. My dad was not happy. He couldn't stand the Rolling Stones. Now, my father was nearly 50 years my senior, so he thought he was going to get me on a better path, and no, not with like Rhapsody in Blue or big band jazz, which probably would have been something he would have preferred. But my dad was a lovely man, and he did, he did buy me records when I asked. I was even enrolled into a record club. So he got me, I think he got me a Paul Simon record, and he got me a Beatles record. Not that he was, that was the most amazing thing he could come up with. And the Beatles record, I think, was that compilation they made in the mid-70s, probably over at Capitol, where they put together various songs that came from the various Beatles films. Yeah. And then he got me a Paul McCartney record. And this was this would have been 1982, so I was 10 or turning 11, and he got me Tug of War. And yeah, I really liked it, and my love for Paul McCartney grew, and he's always been more important to me than the Beatles. Still not as important to me as the Rolling Stones. Sorry, Dad. So, all these years later, of course, I am very excited that there's a Paul McCartney record coming out now. It's 2026. The man is getting on a bit, but it's been a pretty big Paul McCartney year. We've had the movie Man on the Run, which I loved, with the soundtrack, which I bought and was fairly happy with. He reissued, for some reason, sort of out of the blue, and a lot of people who watched my video also commented, then why, well, fine, he reissued Flowers in the Dirt. And I had hoped for Wings at the Speed of Sound, because that record turned 50, and he's been, reissuing all the way from McCartney up until Venus and Mars. He's been reissuing these half-speed masters. But no, we knew there was a new record coming, and of course, we need to focus the attention on that. So what I promised myself this time around, I wasn't going to go down the McCartney 3, let's call it rabbit hole, or, last time I did get McCartney 3 on CD, because I always get the CDs, because I have his whole studio album collection and other things on CD. My vinyl collection is getting there, but I still have some holes in it. Memory almost full, for example. So I did get McCartney 3 on vinyl back then. And this was the blue vinyl. But yeah, I also got white vinyl. And I also got, I don't even remember which one this is. So I ended up with 3 vinyl and a CD, and I guess I felt a little bit, was that really necessary, Morten? So this time around, I went online when the record was announced, available to purchase, and I bought 1 vinyl copy from his website. And I decided that I would get the CD on the day of release, and hopefully those things would arrive at the same time, because, hey, I ordered it, the vinyl, several months before release. Well, I was in Denmark until I actually went back home to Oslo from Denmark yesterday morning, and the record was shipped on Wednesday. And as far as I can see from the tracking, it's ironically stuck somewhere in Denmark, and it won't arrive here until Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So in 3 days, 3 or 4 days, because it's Saturday today. And it irks me a bit. You make sure to order something in advance, and then you don't get it. I know I'm in Norway. I'm not, next door to the Amazon distribution center in whatever somewhere in the States or something like that. But so I thought, well, I'm gonna buy this on day of release when I get into Oslo. But I got into Oslo after 14 hours of traveling last night, and I could have gone to the record store, but I was carrying lots of luggage and everything. So I went today, and I decided I'm gonna get the CD, and I'm gonna get one vinyl, and that means, yes, I end up with more than one vinyl. I would have liked to get, I think, a gatefold, but of course that was announced a week ago. Am I correct? Anyway, here in Oslo, we have 2 record stores that sell new records, and Big Dipper had just a couple of copies left, and Platekompaniet had a bit more, and they got a black, and they got a different color as well. So let's see what we got. So often when I get both a CD and vinyl on the same day, I do show the vinyl first, and I think I'll stick to that. So here it is. The Boys of Dungeon Lane. My copy of that is the new album, indie exclusive. So let's see if we can get this out of the shrink wrap. A little bit of a dent there. Yeah, so I was just watching Norman Maslov talk about his favorite 7 McCartney albums. There's some prices there, but I think he and I are both very fond of the old Ram there. Ram has always had a special place in my heart, and I would say that's my favorite McCartney album of all time. And Wildlife has grown on me a lot, and I think these days I probably listen to Red Rose Speedway more than I listen to, for example, Band on the Run, because you've heard it so many times. Yeah, so it is embossed. It's a little bit squashed at the ends here, as you might. Yeah, that's near impossible to see, isn't it? It's like, yeah, shape of the record there. Alright, so good old Paul McCartney, MPL. There's the track listing. So you look more into that later on. So we have, oh, that is very nice. Here we go. I forgot to ask in the record store today if they had any like souvenirs for us buying this. Actually, I did ask at the first place I went where I didn't buy the record, and they didn't. So, handwritten lyrics. Like this nice color palette. And yeah, it continues in the same fashion, which is it's nice to see, you know, his penmanship, but it does offer a bit of a chore trying to read it if you're going to sing along. Maybe he doesn't want us to sing along. Largely recorded on his own, if I understood it correctly, and produced by Andrew Watt. And we have a duet with Ringo Starr for the very first time. So I haven't listened to any of these songs apart from one, which was kind of by almost like mistake. I think it was because someone else on YouTube were talking about it and leading up to it, and then I didn't feel like I could turn it off, because I like listening to records unheard. So even though I sometimes buy singles from records, I bought a 10-inch now from the upcoming Rolling Stones. I'm not sure I'm going to listen to it, because like I said, there's something about putting that record on for the first time and not letting any of the one song in particular sort of get ahead of the rest of the album, or because you've gotten so used to that one, it might to me anyway, it might feel like I'm the other songs are dragged down a bit because they're unfamiliar. I know, making it more difficult than it needs to be. So, Inner Sleeve, and we have an exciting collage featuring memories and photographs of himself and of course his former bandmates, in and around the old Liverpool there, and Dungeon Lane. So very aesthetically pleasing album. And this is my color variant. I was going to say this time around, but like I said, there is one more on the way. There you are. The old pink vinyl there. So before rounding it all up, let's look at the CD. So this is the CD. It's seems to be a little more solid than the previous one. This feels like Egypt Station to me, except I didn't get a green rubber band around this one. Let's see here. So we have something to keep it in. I keep wanting to say clamshell, but it's not, obviously. And okay, so this is how we do this on this record. He does it. Wants us to do this, like almost like a notebook. Anything special for the old CD buyers out there? No, it doesn't look like it. Here we go. And again, like an inner sleeve, just like the vinyl there, and the CD looks like this. So guys, I hope you enjoyed watching along as I took my very first look at a brand new Paul McCartney album. It has been a few years, 6 years, right? Since we got a new studio album from the man, from Sir Paul McCartney, and been such a big part of my life. He's my favorite solo artist, and yeah, that was my version. Like I said, I'll get another one. Might do a little unboxing video when I do get my record from the Paul McCartney store. And if you have any comments about the record, if you have heard it, if you enjoyed it, what did you think? I hope you liked it, and I hope it brought you joy. I would love to get a comment from you about that. And also hope that you will click like, because that helps my channel. And I hope that you will want to subscribe if you haven't already done so, because that makes me happy. Hello to my new subscribers lately. Nice to have you on board. And yeah, that's all she wrote. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.